Right, welcome back. Last time, well, we conquered most of Pisa, as well as Siena. Lucca is an ally that I'm planning on eventually subjugating, though that's going to take a very long while. A lot of effort and all that. Oh well. And yeah, I also already have free peasantry. If I can get it early, I will go for it, especially now that peasant freedom changes has been nerfed, so the speed is a lot slower, so it's much more difficult to gain it. So it's much more important to have it early, so peasant freedom can slowly increase. As you can see, it's been around for only a few years, and it's going to take a while for, or has it already? Yeah, okay, so the debuffs have already decayed. I'm also working towards expanding the power of the state, although that might take some time. Ah well. Additionally, I'm sitting on a republic, so yeah, things are going to be fairly effective and competent most of the time. And even when the ruler isn't, I've got 60 institutional authorities at base, so it's really not a big deal. It's not like Bureaucracy Ideas gives you any changes towards that. Though there are others that shift that around, like Bureaucracy Ideas. Though I do plan on getting a couple of military ideas first. That way I can fight effectively, and also have at least some level of progress towards the all-important military reform, once I get a proper bureaucracy set up and all that. Anyway, let's get going. Oh yeah, the Renaissance started, although that doesn't really matter all that much. It's not represented as an institution in the game, just as an event that occurs. Woo. Popular piety. The distractions of the Catholic Church in the 14th and 15th centuries meant that ordinary Catholics felt a longing for connection with their faith that was not being met in the church. Instead, many people found ways to devote themselves to God in direct, tangible ways. This manifested as a revival of interest in spiritual traditions like pilgrimages, joining confraternities, participating in passion plays, and venerating saints and relics. It also inspired new practices such as praying the Rosary, venerating Mary during Mass, taking up the Stations of the Cross, and purchasing indulgences. In Northern Europe, pious women joined communities of Beguines, women who did not join a nunnery, but who lived life as if they had. Like-minded men joined the Brethren of the Common Life. Religious art increasingly aimed at making holy figures seem human, emotional, and approachable. Popular piety was a religious revival, but it took place outside the hierarchical church and sometimes went against its teachings. The Catholic Church tolerated these minor deviations and eventually incorporated most of them as official doctrine over the next several centuries, but at the time it was controversial within the church. Obviously, hierarchical organizations do not like initiative outside of their upper ranks. In fact, they detest such things. Prepare the practices. What could possibly go wrong with +5 unrest? Oh well, it's a problem for the next. What's the title again? Gonfalonier? Okay. I don't know how to pronounce that. Oh no, not Hopeless Spender. Huh. Since 1309, the papacy had resided In Avignon, a papal enclave surrounded by France. Ish. I mean, Provence no longer is French after all, it is now Neapolitan, at least via personal union. It was in fact in the process of being integrated, so yeah. The Avignon papacy had developed a reputation for corruption that estranged major parts of Western Christendom. This reputation could be attributed to perceptions of predominant French influence, and to the papal curia's efforts to extend its powers of patronage and increase its revenues. Recently, the last Avignon Pope decided to return to Rome. The Romans put into operation a plan to use intimidation and violence, impressio et metis, to ensure the election of a Roman Pope. The Pope and his curia were back in Rome after 70 years in Avignon, and the Romans were prepared to do everything in their power to keep them there. The Pope moves the capital to Rome. Ooh. I can either celebrate the miracle or specifically get a permanent buff. On a province that isn't particularly important, yes. But still, a permanent buff so long as I remain Catholic. Local trade power, local prestige, yearly prestige, power cost of local taxation. Yeah, sure. I mean, 25 ducats is quite a bit. About a year's worth of money, but getting a buff that lasts for over 400 years? Wow. Sure, I don't get as much stability out of it, but definitely the best option. I mean, isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious? The Roman papacy. I will have to take a moment to see how exactly everyone else is chosen. Ooh, the Tuscan Renaissance is here too. Yep, definitely need to take a look. A school of thought called Humanism spread out of Italy, claiming that since God gifted man with intellect, I think I've done some of that before. Yeah. However, the same ideas could also lead to some heresy. Seeing the brilliance of ancient Rome, some humanists began to believe that reason could justify their lack of faith and began to judge everything with reason. Even the church itself. How dangerous. Avignoist. Catholic, yeah. Doesn't really matter? Well, actually, yeah, I think it does, sort of. Embrace secular humanism, though. I think it affects the Reformation stuff. Special here? No, it just keeps talking about the same thing. Admittedly, I don't need that buff. Plus 5 burger loyalty isn't actually all that helpful. Oh no. port of Pisa is silting up. Oh no. Well, I guess Livorno's gonna have to become... Yep. Minor natural features. That or Marca Grossitana. But neither of them have any real urban development. I mean, Marca Grossitana would actually be nice for urban development because it has an actual center of Catholic pilgrimage, which makes it slightly better. Although the holdings of the knights here, it's going to be a little bit annoying. Is there at least a proper industry here? Yes, even if it's not making all that much money. Okay, I can only set up a rank 1. Oh, improved Pisa. Gains a minor natural harbor. Oh! Okay, but I'm gonna need admin tech of at least 25, and that's a ways away. Yeah, no one around here has even 20, so... Although I am deliberately lowering my own... Well, I am not buying as much technology deliberately in order to, at the very least, ensure that I have points for reforms. But yeah, I need to be careful about that sort of thing. At the very least, Lucca doesn't have anything, nor does Massa, so conquering those won't change anything. I guess vassalizing Lucca. It'd be easier to vassalize Massa. Yeah, but not by much, honestly. Okay, that's important to also do. Good thing I absolutely remembered to do that. At least army professionalism is going to be higher now. Okay, let's see here. It is 1380, so perfect time to continue doing stuff. Alright, expand bureaucracy. That's costly stability. Yield concessions to ancient liberties. There, get that back, I guess. Promote the aristocratic faction. The nobles are a plague. Promote and support commerce. And I guess I might as well take the mission, just so that it stops annoying me. Yeah, I did go through properly. Okay. I don't need to interact with the tribes at all, so there's nothing there. Forte Luciana. And you better roll well. Ugh. Might as well grab sale of public offices. Stability cost and roll -1%. After all, I have the points for the tech, so. Do I grab poll taxes too? I do want to save points for other things too. After all, I do need to continue increasing state reach, and it is fairly important to keep my stability up. That's done with the Vulcan provision. On the other hand, a new idea group would be very useful. Yeah, sure. Poll taxes. Quality. 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 It's too good to ignore. Especially in circumstances where I can only get so much. Sure, military academies. Land attrition -5%, discipline +2.5%. Definitely get this one too. The others, I'm gonna wait. I still need Miltech to some degree after all. It's fairly important that I have Miltech. So, yeah. Anyway, I think it's fine to move on. I think it's a good time to actually do a minor reform. On the one hand, I definitely want to reduce tax evasion, so I can get more money. However, reducing their influence and their effect on crafting would be nice. I don't want to spend more bureaucrats now. I don't really need it. Yeah, average autonomy is good. I don't need it to be lower right now. And favorite outcomes is fine for now. Ambitious, I'm going to need to remove it later for more important reforms, like working towards universal law. Reducing the amount of influence they have as a basis would be good, so I think I'll go ahead and do that. Right? Yeah. Restrict aristocratic titles. I'll still increase their influence though, because very cheap way to gain their loyalty. Just constantly give them influence. And then wait for a good opportunity to at least stop doing it for a while so I can get bureaucratic reforms through or something else. Okay. Bologna is fairly weak. They have one ally. Well, technically two. Trade League. With 2 members, one of which is also an ally, so... Man, everyone's getting peasants' wars. Me, I'm immune to them because I have free peasantry. It's so great to have it this early. Fighting spirit's not great. That's not helpful. That's actually pretty good. That's not helpful at all. That's actually quite good. Yeah. Wait for morale to cover one last bit. I don't think that... Yeah, the Roman papacy isn't going to help. And Lucca isn't going to either because... Next election. Hold every 10 years. Re-elections cost 10. They don't. Actually, they cost 5. 6? It's 6. And you gain 5 by electing someone else. But you also get an extra 50 points in a random category if you re-elect. Which is the benefit of re-electing. if you actually re-elect, you get quite a few points out of it. So. Yeah. No, nothing doing. There's no other obvious direction to expand in other than this. I don't have ships, and even if I did, I'm not going to be able to compete with any naval powers for a while. There's no way I'm going to get any further than Sardinia. I mean, there's potentially Arborea, but they're allied to Castile. Aragon has 10 ships. They're allied to France. Castile has 14 ships. Genoa has 30, and are also allied to Castile, so... And also Naples. Yeah. Yeah. Easiest and best bet is to head straight north through these passageways. So, let's go. I can take on them one at a time, easily. I just need to be careful not to fight everyone at once, because that would be bad. It doesn't seem like they have a general. Yes, they do. Okay. I definitely have the shock advantage, so I was able to just stack wipe them. Good. Problem. I need 5 regiments. Well. Let's get artillery in. It's not going to be amazingly helpful. Light. There we go. Okay. War reparations. I mean, I could force vassalize them, but that's a terrible idea. Right? Well, how much would it cost to... Yeah, that'd probably be bad. So, yeah, the entire culture group and all that nonsense. So with Friuli, I am not force vassalizing them. I'll just ask for lots and lots of money and some prestige. Cash province. Unless you have... Because there is the option of force vassalizing them. What costs Diplo instead? Now, Vassal would definitely net me more. Sure. Fine. I'll vassalize. Don't give up claims, but do... don't need to pay all that much. Let me just forcibly end a couple rivalries in order to gain extra prestige. There we go. Okay, that's good. Quite a bit of that peace deal. Including a vassal. And vassals are actually pretty good, after all, since they give you troops that... Well, more troops than directly ruling the territory would. Anyway, let's move on. Synod of Minorca 1389. That's interesting. Okay, so what exactly does it want? The clergy has called for a synod on the question of the Wycliffites and their questioning of some of the core tenets of the Catholic Church. Our representatives at the synod will cast our vote on a potential reform of the Church. Okay. The so-called reformers would have us change several key aspects of our faith. Universal priesthood, denial of a purgatory, no baptism. Huh. No baptism is quite strange, isn't it? Perhaps mean no, or would it be adult baptism? I do not know. Well, I should do that without knowing. Oh well, let me read the rest. Bible and vernacular is Latin. Clergy would only have spiritual power, consubstantiation, condemnation of indulgences, authorization of priest marriage, condonation of simony, clergy poverty. Pope is only first among equals. Pope is only first among equals. Holy communion to laity in both forms. Compromise? Why not? Certainly would like to have the church have less influence here. I'm right next to papacy, so that's... yeah. Not much I can do about that. Oh, wait a second. Ah, I would no longer have innovativeness. Let's grab it then. Fighting spirit. Reduce morale damage taken by reserves plus 10%. Okay. I can still afford the mill tech once it arrives properly next year. Anyway. Alright, perfect time to grab a bunch of tech. Corn gunpowder, infantry fire plus 1, cavalry fire plus 105. Shell-built ships. Naval force summons plus 2%, trade range plus 50, enables the Latin-sailed caravel and the hook. Inns of court. I can't afford cheap paper, sadly. Admin efficiency plus 2.5%. Ooh, cheap paper would increase maximum extraction resources output. Okay, I don't really have many mines, but important is the urban production efficiency. I don't have many mines, right? Exotic wine. Exotic wine. Exotic wine. Do I have anything other than exotic wine? A sea salt deposit. Well, that's obvious. Oh, there's a metal deposit here. That could be very useful. Are we actually digging that out? Yes. Okay, good. So making money. Quite a bit, especially compared to the salt. Good to know. Is there a metal deposit here? Yes! Are we actually mining it? Yes. Okay, good. There's also rock salt, which isn't making quite as much money. What about here? No. Okay, so we have metal deposits. That's it. Just look up anything interesting. Sea salt? No. Okay. What about Bologna? Nope. Massa? In the off chance that I managed to conquer it? Probably not. Nope. It's just gonna be more sea salt, isn't it? In Liguria. Yeah. Does Corsica have anything interesting? No? Okay, I need to stop looking at various deposits. And actually start looking back over here. Okay, I've got 20 state reach. Problem is, I doubt I can get more than 10 or maybe 15 bureaucratic influence. There's nothing here that has such little need for influence. On the other hand, I do want to ensure that the nobles remain reasonably loyal. And yielding concessions to ancient liberties is great, but only gets me so far. Yeah, the best option is to stop promoting the aristocratic faction for a decade, or give it time to go for aristocratic influence to go down, and then promotes specifically the bureaucrat faction, continuing to expand the bureaucracy in the meantime. So the more power they have, and the more influence they have, especially considering that every other faction has over 40% power. I'm going to need a lot for the bureaucracy to have any actual influence that it can apply. So, support commerce, because the burghers keep being rather annoying, honestly. They keep asking for things. More urban autonomy. Oh hey, we need even more power for ourselves. No. Donations and ties aren't that much. I'd love to be able to get church to start becoming taxpayers. Secularizing would be great. Worship devotion, okay, yeah. If I want to reform at some point, there's not much better of a time, is there? I think supporting the church is a bit, yeah. Free gift, why not? There we go. I still don't tax them, but they're entirely of their own free will, granting me some cash. Which is nice of them. Very nice of them. Again, entirely of their own free will. Giovanni de Medici. Giovanni de Bicci de Medici is one of the successful Florentine bankers abroad. We noticed that he founded a bank in Rome. Whoa. And established good contacts with the Holy Father. That's actually genuinely impressive considering how big of a deal usury was during this time. At least usury with brothers of the faith. Same is true of Judaism. You don't, well, at least with a strict interpretation of Christianity, Judaism, etc. You don't ask for interest. Of course, over time, because of people like the de Medicis, this slowly faded away, and once capitalism started to fully take root, it then vanished. Fairly quickly at that, too. It just goes to show the power of money at making people change their ways. Anyway, he comes from one of the unimportant branches of the bigger Medici family, but it seems that he amassed a high amount of wealth. Giovanni seems to be an able and rich man who could serve our republic. I mean, well, treasurer isn't super duper helpful, but I guess I'll take a few months worth of money. It's not really much, honestly, but okay. Let's see here. No, that's Franciscan Orange local arrest. Okay, that's actually not great. Oh well. I do want to look into increasing. Yeah, urban amenities could definitely use an increase inside the capital. Yeah, that's well beyond the population. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I have forgotten to until recently. And also, you know, money. There we go. That should get things rolling. Yeah, I think this is a good point to stop, isn't it? Anyway, well, I don't plan on actually changing any influences directly. Not yet. I am expanding the bureaucracy, and I will continue to do so until the task is done. And that task is reform. I do not know what I will be able to manage with reform. I highly doubt I can get 30 bureaucratic influence. Even if I specifically do the interaction for it. I have gotten it to where they're at 4. So that is because this is the 10th year that I haven't done the interaction to raise aristocrat, to promote the aristocratic faction, so... Yeah, that's... It's questionable how long that situation can last, to be honest. Yeah, that's about it. That's that. Timing is perfect. Okay. I've managed to vassalize Bologna in a war. They've got claims on Ferrara, and I am not ready for a war against Naples at all, so this is going to be the situation for a while. I'm hoping to diplomatically vassalize Lucca, because, yeah, that would be nice and easy. It would definitely take a while, though. But I have plenty of favors on them, so... Yeah, it won't take much to get them to 100 loyalty, trust. Which will make, well, diplo vassalizing somewhat easier. Not amazingly so, though. I just need to sit around and build. Build up my economy, build up my military size. That one's going to take a couple more idea groups. I've picked up quality ideas and gotten most of the way through. I'm just picking them up as the innovativeness bonus disappears. Because while I don't need innovativeness right now, it will give me a slight edge in the future. Even at the cost of some national unrest. And I've already caught up with tech generally, outside of admin tech, but I need the admin points right now for other things. Well, reforms. I've reduced the amount of court titles, and I've also gone to free gift and clergy obligations, so the church is a lot less, well, yeah. So, right. Of course, that does mean that I do get church support now, though it's not truly a tax. The more power they have, the more they freely gift. I can look how much it's... It's a fifth of a ducat a year. Not a fifth. It's 0.277 ducats a year. Yeah, it's not much at all. It really isn't. I'm still recovering from the reforms, honestly, which is why I don't plan on grabbing tech for a while, or the next idea, unless the innovativeness bonus disappears. Yeah. Beyond that, I'm kind of stuck. In theory, Rome would be an easy conquest based upon military size, I guess, but they're my ally. At the very least, Naples means that they're not going to spread, because they are warning them. As for other things, 100 Years' War is continuing to go on. Lithuania is pretty big, though. Yeah. Teutons are doing their thing, which nobody's happy about. Lithuania is now Catholic. The Hordes are falling apart, and the Timurids have done their thing, too. Aren't you Serbian? Yeah. The main Serbia died, but there is Durazo here that's eaten to, well, Macedonia, largely. In southern Serbia. Therese is also here. They're Bulgarian, so don't worry about it. And, well, the Eastern Roman Empire is still around. In Constantinople. Yeah, good luck to you. You're gonna need it. And Basque Country's already gone. That was quick. Castile is now the one that owns them. And Castile recently just tried conquering parts of the Maghreb. That's gonna be fun. I've got 2 cardinals. Reform desires at 24%. And I've got a permanent center of Catholic pilgrimage in this province. Would have been great in Florence, but I guess this one can do too. Oh well. Great powers in the world is obviously Great Ming, then Timurids, then Korea. Huh. Bengal. England is the first great power in Europe, then Castile. I'd need a lot to get anywhere in the great power list. And to be honest, I'm a bit stuck. Even if it weren't for the fact that I don't want to conquer Lucca, Massa is in a trade lead with Genoa and allied to Ferrara. Ferrara is allied to Naples. Genoa is allied to Castile and Naples. And then there's also the Massive Trade League. Yeah. So yeah, diplomatically, militarily, I'm a bit stuck. So I guess I just need to wait and see. At the very least, Bologna wasn't part of the Empire, so that's easy to deal with. Not sure why they left, but they did. Anyway, I think I have gone on long enough. Oh, and there's the whole Avignon and Rome controversy in Catholicism, so that's why the HRE has no imperial authority. 42 heretics. Yeah. If there were internal peace, it would actually be increasing, or, you know, if it weren't for the controversy, but, yeah. Anyway. I've definitely gone on long enough. I'll see you again next time. Until then.